Many people imagine success as a kind of final territory, a place where effort slows down, where uncertainty fades, where life becomes stable and predictable. It is a comforting image. After years of striving, it feels reasonable to want a point of rest, a moment where we can say, "I've made it. Now I can finally relax." But this idea misunderstands what success really is. Success is not an endpoint. It is a shift in responsibility. When you reach something you once aimed for, your life does not become simpler. It becomes more complex. Different decisions appear. Different risks emerge. Different forms of uncertainty replace the old ones. The struggle does not disappear. It changes shape. This is why many people feel strangely unsettled after achieving what they wanted. They expected relief, but instead, they encounter a new form of pressure. Before success, the question is often, can I reach it? After success, the question becomes, how do I carry it? That is a heavier question. Because success gives you influence, and influence requires judgment. It gives you visibility, and visibility demands restraint. It gives you choice, and choice exposes your values. Before, you were trying to become someone. Now you are responsible for being someone. That difference is profound. We tend to think that success will protect us from uncertainty. In reality, it places us deeper inside it. At the beginning of a career, uncertainty is external. Will I be accepted? Will I be chosen? Will I survive? Later, uncertainty becomes internal. What do I stand for? What do I say no to? What kind of person do I become with this power? Early uncertainty tests your competence. Later uncertainty tests your character. This is why success cannot be a resting place. It is a change in terrain. Another illusion is that success creates stability by fixing identity. People think, once I am successful, I will know who I am. But success does not stabilize identity, it multiplies it. You become many things at once: a model, a reference, a decision maker, a representative of values you may never have fully examined. Your actions no longer affect only you. They shape the environment of others. That weight cannot be avoided. It can only be handled consciously or unconsciously. This is where maturity begins. Success without reflection produces arrogance. Success with reflection produces responsibility. The difference is not talent, it is awareness. There is also a quieter danger in success: stagnation. Not because success stops movement, but because it tempts you to freeze yourself in the form that worked. You start defending an identity that once served you. You protect a style, a reputation, a method, not because it is still true, but because it is familiar. At that point, success becomes a museum. You preserve your past achievements instead of participating in the present. This is not growth. It is survival disguised as wisdom. Real success remains open to revision. It allows itself to be questioned. It accepts that yesterday's excellence may not fit today's reality. This requires humility. Not the humility of self-doubt, but the humility of accuracy, the recognition that time continues even when your achievements remain. Another misunderstanding is that success should reduce vulnerability. People expect to become emotionally safer, less exposed, less uncertain. But deeper success often makes you more visible, not more protected. Your mistakes carry more weight. Your silence communicates more. Your choices affect more people. So the question becomes, can you stay precise under pressure? Can you remain thoughtful when speed is rewarded? Can you act ethically when no one can easily stop you? This is why character matters more after success than before it. Before success, discipline builds skill. After success, discipline preserves integrity. They are different disciplines. One is about improvement, the other is about alignment. We also assume success means we can finally stop changing, that we have found our shape. But success freezes nothing. It simply exposes whether you can evolve without losing coherence. If you cannot adapt, success becomes a cage. If you can adapt, success becomes a platform. The difference lies in whether you see yourself as a finished product or as a continuing responsibility. Many people confuse confidence with completion. They think certainty means being done. But real confidence is not about final answers. It's about the ability to operate without them. It is the capacity to move forward while knowing that understanding will remain partial. Success does not reduce ambiguity. It changes how much ambiguity you must carry. And carrying ambiguity well is one of the highest forms of competence. There is also a moral dimension to success. Before, your primary duty is to develop yourself. After, your duty expands to include how your development shapes others. Your tone becomes contagious. Your standards become invisible rules. Your indifference becomes permission. You teach even when you are silent. So success is not personal anymore. It becomes environmental. This is why success should never be confused with rest. Rest is a biological need. Success is a social condition. They belong to different categories. You deserve rest as a human being, but success does not grant moral retirement. In fact, it demands more precision, not less, more clarity, not comfort, more responsibility, not escape. The most dangerous moment in success is when you believe your movement is finished. That belief produces stagnation, entitlement, and eventually irrelevance. Not because success was wrong, but because it was misunderstood. Success is not the end of effort. It is the end of a certain kind of effort and the beginning of another one. Earlier, you work to prove possibility. Later, you work to protect meaning. Earlier, you fight to be included. Later, you work to include others responsibly. Earlier, you seek opportunity. Later, you must create conditions under which opportunity remains honest. This is a much more demanding task. So when we say success is not a place where change stops, we mean something precise. We mean that success is a transition from growth driven by ambition to growth governed by conscience, from survival to stewardship, from becoming to being accountable for what you have become. That is not an easier phase of life. It is a deeper one. And only those who understand this remain alive inside their success instead of being preserved by it.